Hello. We're back for another week and starting this week on a Sunday, which is not the usual for this vlog. We normally kick off on a Monday and usually Sam is with me. But I'm trying to keep consistent with the vlogging. And I'm still currently, if you watch the last episode, you'll see I was in Dubai. I'm still in Dubai, mixing a bit of work with a bit of pleasure at the weekends. And so jumping on today, because I wanted to start the week showing you how a new week really does start for me, which is actually on a Sunday, not a Monday. So Saturday I will usually try and have a break, because normally by Friday I'm feeling it based on an average week. So I'll usually have Saturday on a normal week to just rest. Sunday I try and have a bit of a me time, if you like. And that will usually consist of waking up a slower morning, and then I'll get some exercise in. So I usually go to the gym or go for a run. And then I'll have a little bit of downtime reading. And then I will usually take myself to the office or find a quiet spot, a coffee shop, or somewhere like today. I'm in the Airbnb. So I've got a bit of quiet time to myself, just at the table, laptop out, notebooks out. And I'm just preparing for the week. And the way that usually looks for me now is it's reviewing my diary that's already pre-populated by my assistant, usually on a Friday, for what's coming up the week ahead. And on a Friday, I usually go through with my assistant like what we call a brain dump, which gives all of the things that are in my head that I need blocked out to do. That could be tasks, that could be meetings, that could be projects that I need to make sure I get done, so that time gets allowed for in time blocks within my Outlook calendar for the week ahead. And then what happens on a Sunday is I'll really take my journal out, notebook, whatever you want to call it, and I ask myself questions around I look through all my notes from the week, I look at my meeting notes from last week, action points, and I just sort of have about an hour or two in quiet to myself to really reflect on what's going on at the minute, what's going well, what's not. I look at all my notes from the week on things that have frustrated me, things that I've said are going well, that aren't going well. And then I just review ahead of the week, right, okay, how does this week look? Is there a theme to the week? What are the big pillars that I really need my brain power this week? And it's usually revolved around challenges. So where are the biggest areas that are a problem for us right now? Or sometimes it's exciting, like where are the next big opportunities that we're putting resource into that I then jump on as well. I've got this new camera and it's got an auto follow on it, so if it's rapidly moving, that's why, but it's quite cool, but I'm just still getting used to it. But yeah, so what I'm doing now is starting on a Sunday morning, and I thought I'd show you that and just talk to you a little bit about how I believe Sundays are just critical for setting yourself up for a good week. And it doesn't need to be massive. You can start small, even just, of an evening before you actually go to bed, even if you just carve half an hour out. But just to take a bit of quiet time and really think about, okay, for the week ahead, what really matters for me this week? What's going to push me ahead? What's going to really drive things forward? And what didn't go so well last week? And what is going to go well for the week ahead? And I think that is critically important. So I just wanted to share that a little bit more in depth about how I set my week up for success. And now I'm going to crack on with some work and prep for my week ahead to set me up for success. That's what I'm doing. So we are starting another busy day, and we are currently on our way over to a networking event. As I say, part of the reason for the trip was to build some connections here, and I've been invited to a business networking event this morning. So I'm heading over there now to meet some potential new connections, learn a little bit more about the landscape in Dubai. Yeah, that's what we're up to. And I believe, meanwhile, in the UK, it's busy. I think we've got some improvements being made in the warehouse, and Cody, head of ops, and Tony, our sort of procurement lead, are flying over to Germany to look at a potential new investment for us. So it's all go. Let's see what they're doing.
Hey Mikey, how you doing?
Hey Sam, not too bad, thank you mate. It's been a really hectic week. Really picked up at the beginning of the week, so we've been really busy. Got a few new things as well that we've had to introduce into production, including this new cabinet that Jazz has very kindly can-banned and made it all nice and smart. So we've got all that in there, and then on the doors we've got pictures of everything inside, and that is to keep all our chemical-based products, which we don't really hold a lot of, but we do have a few bits. So we've got a nice new cabinet to put it all in. And if you come with me, we'll go for a few other bits. So everyone's obviously busy and working hard as always. We've got all the boards put up for everyone. So this is one. We've got one for Holly over there as well. Obviously X5 over that side had one already. And then we've got a few more out here that I can show you. So yeah, we've been really busy, just trying to make life a little bit easier for everyone. And so we've done Heather a nice big board, so it just makes her life a little bit easier when she needs bits and bobs through a working day. It's all nicely organised, and we left that to them to put it how they wanted. We got another one over here for the DTF press, so that's ideal for them as well. So yeah, lots of little bits going on. Nate's been incredibly busy. The weather's turned a bit cold, so the door's shut at the minute. We had a tap that we had to move outside as well, which we did the other day. So that's just made life a little bit easier when we want to do anything with a pressure washer, etc. Need to clean anything off, we can just take it outside and do it out there, so it's ideal. We did have a big clear up yesterday and moved lots of products up. A lot of our notebooks have gone upstairs into the space that we utilised. But as you can see, we've had a lot more arrive today.
Hey Harrison, how's your week going?
Hi mate, yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed week to be honest. We've got a bit of a studio backlog at the moment, a lot of stuff coming through, big projects we've been working on, so they're having to do it as quickly as they can, so we've got a bit of a backlog on that at the moment. But yeah, I've been working on some nice orders. Got a decent ocean bottle order going on, so ocean bottles are always a good go-to for bottles. But yeah, other than that, I think the bank holiday has made this week a bit trickier as well, with having to try and get things closed quickly to meet clients' deadlines. But yeah, it's looking up.
How you doing, Cody?
Hi Sam, yeah, not so bad mate. Just finalising a few bits in the warehouse, making sure everything is good to go before I head off to Germany a little bit later today with Tony. Just going to look at some possible new kit that we might be looking at bringing in the future. As we always like to do, like to go and see the machines ourselves, take our own products, take our own artworks, designs and stuff like that, and really see it for ourselves, run the machines ourselves, just to make sure it is definitely going to be the right fit for us and our customers and our product offering. So yeah, it's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a busy few days, but hopefully will all be worth it. But yeah, it's just this morning is just a case of making sure everything is good to go before I depart. Obviously the team will take care of everything as always, but I just like, for my own peace of mind, to make sure everything's in order, and there's no sort of ongoing issues and stuff that are left sort of unanswered before I go on annual leave or go away on business. So yeah, busy morning, busy couple of days, but excited, looking forward to it, and yeah, that is what we're doing.
we are on the way to the temporary office that we've been using. We've got a day of meetings, lots going on, so we're heading in. We are only in Dubai for a few more days, so yes, we are trying to make the most of enjoying it while we're here. So the weekend will be nice. We're here for this final weekend, and then we're back. But during the week is meetings and doing some of the stuff that we came out here to do, which is make some connections and have a few meetings, do a bit of a recce mission of the wave that is Dubai from a business point of view. And we are then enjoying a little bit of leisure time at the weekend, which is nice. I've rented a Mercedes, which takes me back a few years to when I was younger, and I've really enjoyed it. I must admit, I don't know if anyone watching drives Mercedes, but one of my favourite cars, one of my favourite brands of car. I just find them so reliable, so well. It thinks I'm talking to it now. So the tech really nice, smooth. The minute you get in the car, it connects to the Bluetooth. Everything's just seamless. And I find it very smooth and easy to run with. So I'm going to miss that when we go back to the UK. Car rental here I actually think is very cheap, along with fuel compared to other countries. So when I've been in Europe and we've hired a car for business trips and things like that, like when we did the management retreat last year, we went to, the hell did we go? Romania, and that was very expensive. I think it cost us to hire the car there, cost us nearly what it's cost me for a good few weeks to cost for here. So interesting how a lot, it's got this, Dubai's got this thing that everything's so expensive, and some things are, but also some things are very, very cost effective. I mean, a full tank in this was £18. I mean, cost you sort of 45-50 quid, if not more, at home. So that's interesting. But yeah, so we're on our way in. It's going well. I think what I haven't spoken about recently is actually the roar of what isn't going so well. And we have got some challenges at the moment, which I had some meetings yesterday about, and we're trying to divulge and get under the crux of it. The big thing is data, so we're really aggressively pushing internally to get more data, more under the hood data, and I really think more of us need to be making an effort to do that. It's not enough to just track the top line outputs, your profit and loss, and what you're spending on labour, your labour to turnover ratio. That's not enough. You've got to go deeper. You need to be looking at wait times. We've just got a piece of software that's plugged into all of our customer facing team members, if you like, so our account managers, consultants, customer care, where we've now got this integration with our Outlook mailboxes, which is live tracking our average response times in line with our service level agreements and the targets we want to be at our average response time, because we can see when we look at our weekly business review the data in how our response times on the phone, on emails, quotations, visuals massively impact the graph that is our conversion rate, quote to order. And you've got to be going deeper as to not just looking at the higher level metrics. We need to be looking at the lower level stuff. So that's a challenge. We're trying to improve that. Big challenge is our gross margin at the moment. I think because the world is spooked a little bit, a lot of our industry, a lot of industries and people are just driving a hard bargain at the moment, and our gross margin is really taking a hit. And that frustrates me, because otherwise we can't invest. If we're not getting a strong, healthy margin, we can't continue to release cash. We haven't got enough free cash flow to capex and keep growing, keep scaling, keep building opportunities for our team and making a better product for our customers. So that's a big challenge, and probably the biggest at the moment for me is sorting our gross margin out, getting under the hood and understanding where that's slipping, why it's slipping, and how we can just look at better ways to add value to our clients rather than just giving all of the margin away, because there's just no therefore margin for error. And then our embroidery department's gone a bit quiet on Totally Branded, which is strange and worrying for me. We have 2 shifts running there, so that runs 16 hours a day. and it's nowhere near busy enough. The machine utilisation is nowhere near where it should be when we had a look at the report this week. So I'm getting under the hood on that and understanding what we've done wrong, what's been done differently as the market's pricing shifted and we've not kept up. What's going on? Is our efficiencies not there? Is our quality of output not there? So I'm getting under the hood and understanding that. So there are a few of my challenges that I'm dealing with at the moment on the totally branded side of things. With the property, Tassie Waste, the usual hurdles. Chroma's going pretty well. We're on the straight and narrow to get out of there now. We're so close. Carpets have been going down. Things are looking good. And next week when we're back, I'll be able to take you around and give you a bit of a behind the scenes and show you how that's going. Tassie Waste, leads are really picking up. We're not sure if it's just seasonal. Obviously that business is like 8 months old, so we've never been in sort of Easter time. We've never had that business operational, but the spike in demand has been off the scale, and we're not sure. I had a chat yesterday with Rob with regards to our advertising and marketing on that side of things. We're not sure if it's because of some of the changes we've made, or if just in general it's a completely different market, completely different demographic to what I've been used to for a long time. But something we're doing is right on that, because we've got a really strong, nearly 55% conversion rate on lead to sale, and our demand is going through the roof, which is really exciting. So yeah, just thought I'd update you on some of what's going well and some of what's not going well. We'll see what the rest of the day has got in store for us. That's what we're doing. Just wrapping up a fairly manic morning. It's been all systems go this morning. We've had quite a few meetings internally. Today's been quite a marketing and product themed day. So we're looking at brand, looking at marketing, looking at product development, analysis. So it's quite an intensive morning where we're sort of doing one-to-ones with different people. So like the product team as a whole, we do like a huddle, which normally when I'm in the UK is a stand-up, and it all respective. So like people from content, development, marketing, product, procurement. Because it's all disconnected but also all connected, we sort of have a bit of a stand-up huddle and we just sort of set actions each week. We look at like the Lion framework of like last week, issues, opportunities, and next week, and just agreeing who's doing what, when, is there any overlap, who's actually best placed, what resource do we need from other people, where's the dependencies, and we're always trying to fight to reduce those dependencies really internally, which is why we find actually a stand-up huddle is so much more effective and we just move at a quicker rate. So we did that, and then a few meetings with SEO, pay-per-click, just the different leads on those areas. Just reviewing data, having a look, tweaking, testing, measuring, making those 1% improvements week on week. Bit of a tough morning meeting with our developers who I'm just become a bit frustrated with, so I had to release a bit of frustrations there with some developments that are just taking too long and just being too painful, very labour intensive on our side, and theirs on getting some new developments over the line. So we had to sort of lay out expectations a little bit and clarify that, so that was good that it's done. Hopefully aligns us a little bit better and allows them to crack on. Just been one after another. All the actions have been sent out. We document them all, just keep it quite simple. We just do a very simple actions document. It gets circulated via email immediately after the meeting, so everybody's clear, and then we pull that doc back up the following week when we reconvene, whether that's a one-to-one or a team, whatever it may be, and then we review, did we do respectively what we say we're going to do? If not, why not? And what needs to be carried over. So yeah, all in all, pretty good. Just checking in on the numbers and the stats for how things are performing so far today. Average order value is down a little bit so far. It's not great, but it is only sort of halfway through the day, so all is well. Process revenue is looking fairly strong. We're about bang on where we need to be for the day, given the time of day. So yeah, all in all, looking pretty good, and about to get into another meeting and see where the rest of the day takes us. That's what we're doing. Yeah, we've scripted it out. We're just debating whether we do more of a simplified, very short, sharp, like almost like a cartoony video, as opposed to a lifestyle one. So I'm just experimenting with a couple of ideas at the minute. If it picks up a clothing size guide effectively within that field, it will show the new version of the PDP, which is the clothing version where I select small, medium, large, etc. I think the friction we've had there before in previous years, and Darren might remember this, but in that they're not very good at giving us accurate delivery costs. What I'd do, Cam, just as a test, is just maybe request costings on that 1 or 2 lines that you like the look of, and just see how free flowing the information is, how simple it is, and then we could refine it if we were like, well, this has got legs. We want to go further with this, and then maybe we can touch base on that next week, just on like a Word doc, how that looks. Cool. Okay, mate. Nice one. That's good to know. We've got some progress there. So if I just put down there as an action on that, then Cam, just model pricing for merch packs, yeah? Explore if has legs. Cool, okie dokie, that's all good. And then the lunchbox collection. So Tony's obviously in Germany with Cody, so he sent me an update on where he's at with everything. So in terms of product, I think it's just a case of getting the template finalised, getting some mock designs produced, and then hopefully we can give some samples over to you, Sam, for next week for producing some content. So he's got these on, so we just need the photography, which I think you're scheduled in for today, Sam, aren't you, on these? These new Pride products that need it's a case of calling and pulling and getting them web tagged. For me, that's worth doing. I think if it's like there is this product, it's already on, but it means we've got to update the images and I don't know, it's sort of probably for 1 month, it probably seems a bit in vain. In your experience, Cam, are the ones that you've noticed, are they manual jobs, or are they sort of API jobbies that need just resyncing, pulling through that new line? I have just come out for a walk. Got to get the steps in, clear the mind. It's been a pretty full-on morning. We're now into late afternoon, to be fair, and just back to back, as we like to say. So fairly manic morning, but productive. And I think that's what more of us need to ask ourselves is, we can all say we're busy, but are we actually productive? Are we actually doing anything that's moving the needle forward? When you stare at the 90-day list of goals that you've set, or the 1-year vision plan, I'm always asking myself every day, like, I can do anything, not everything today. What's actually going to matter, and what is going to be the needle movers of where I need to be putting my time for the team, for the business, for the mission. Just making sure I'm not getting sucked into things that I shouldn't be dealing with, and that's really hard. Especially when you've built something from the ground up. It's easy to want to be involved in every nitty-gritty detail, but you've got to try and fight the urge and let people that are better than you, quite frankly, get on and do it. So yeah, that's something that's on my mind today, which I thought I'd share as I'm getting my steps in, is that it's all hard, it's all painful. And this dawned on me this morning. I've been sort of mulling it over in my mind earlier. And that what I've learned is through different phases of the business, building the business, when we've been in growth mode, when we've been in stagnation mode, when we've been in sometimes decline, when we've had financial wobbles, when we're in hyper growth mode, it's all painful. And I think when you learn that, and you've been through different phases, you realise that it's just like a cycle, and nothing's easy. It's always hard. It's painful to be stagnating, because it's a different sort of pain, but it's still painful. It's painful to be declining. It's painful to be growing, because they all bring challenges. They all bring doubt. They all bring frustration, and they're all stretching you in one way or another. So I just think that more of us need to appreciate that, accept it, and just suck it up and get on with it. And just understand that nobody's coming to sort things out for you. You've got to do it yourself. And just learn to choose your hard. Choose and embrace the phase you're in. Push through to the next phase and know that like day and night, it will probably come again. But it's not going to get much easier. You're just going to get better. It's one of the best things I ever read, that. It is like putting the reps in, building the muscle, and we live to fight on another day. So yeah, it's my 2 penneth worth. Some thoughts on my mind today as I get my steps in and prepare for a manic afternoon. That's what we're doing. Good morning. It is nice and early this morning, and I am in the apartment that we're renting on Airbnb, and I'm just having a bit of early morning time to myself before the day kicks in. And I wanted to jump on because I don't recommend books enough, I don't think, and a lot of people that watch the channel actually weirdly have started messaging me asking for book recommendations. I think because in a lot of my videos people see the whacking great bookshelf that I have back in the UK. So I thought I'd share this morning. I'm midway through a really good book, which is, it's not like in the top charts or anything, so it's a little bit less well known. But it's, I'd say if you're in any form of manufacturing or warehousing or anything, it's really good book. But actually, just as a business owner, I think it's a great book. It's one of the most unique books I've read, because the way it's done is around like a thriller style, like storybook. So it's really interesting, and it's about this guy that he's got a plant. I think it's like 400 people that work in there, this manufacturing plant, and he basically is given an ultimatum. He's part of a huge conglomerate, and he's given a thing to say, look, the plant's not performing, you've got 3 months or we're shutting it down, everyone loses their jobs, etc. And it's running like ridiculous, like it's like 50 days, their orders are going late, they're making no money, they've got hundreds of thousands of cash tied up in stock. And it's this story about how this guy has this realization about like lean manufacturing and just transforms this plant. Now I'm only halfway through at the moment, but I'm gripped. I love a good book anyway, and anyone who knows me knows that. It's always around business or something I can learn. I don't just read storybooks for the sake of it. I have to feel like I'm getting some value out of it, and I always have a highlighter in hand, and I'm highlighting the key points, and then when I finish a book, I'm going back through and reading the key points and looking at what I've learned from it. But I wanted to jump on and share because this is a little bit, it doesn't come up on Amazon in the charts. It's not talked about on by most people, but for me, this has been one of the best books I've enjoyed reading in a long time, and actually got a lot of like nuggets out of it that I wasn't expecting to already, and I'm only halfway through. So it's called, I'll show you, it's called Goal, 3rd edition. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the author, if I'm honest, because I can't. But strongly recommend ordering yourself a copy of that and checking it out, because I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I think it's talking about things like bottlenecks within your business, throughput and all that sort of thing. And I think that's relatable whether you've got, a team of engineers out on the road, whether you've got an office of designers, whatever it may be, not necessarily just a manufacturing plant, but I think it all adds up. So I'm going to get back to getting another chapter in before I head over to the office. Thought I'd share that. That's what we're doing.